After I died, I was reborn as a cockroach. I flew to my crying mother, wanting to comfort her, but to my surprise, she recognized me instantly. When I was alive, I had jokingly asked her, if I ever became a cockroach, would you still love me? Mom had smiled and said, just fly onto my palm and I will surely recognize you. Right as those words echoed, a loud alarm suddenly went off. As a rookie firefighter, I put on my fire suit without hesitation. But after I rescued the last boy, my aunt insisted that I go back in to save her belongings. The fire was already out of control, and going back was impossible. However, my aunt threatened that if I didn't save her things, she would have all the firefighters fired. I had no other choice. I dove back into the sea of fire, but as soon as I reached the upper floor, the house exploded. I remained in that house forever. Looking at my weeping mother, I wished I could hug her one more time. The saddest part was that my aunt was at the door, demanding money from my mother. Suddenly, the Grim Reaper appeared and time froze. He was moved by my sacrifice and wanted to give me a life of luxury by letting me be born into a wealthy family, but I refused. I only wanted to go back to my mother. He then gave me a chance. I would be born as 7 different animals, and if my mother recognized me every single time, I could become human again. I immediately agreed and time resumed. In my first life, I was a cockroach. First, I scared away my aunt's family. Then I started crawling in front of my mother. She began watching me closely. I thought she had forgotten our promise, but the next moment she held out her hand and said, "Come onto my palm." Mom was so happy. She took me home and took great care of me. Seeing that she recognized me, I began to wonder how I would move to the next life. Just then, my cousin entered the room and sprayed me with insecticide. Before Mom could understand what was happening, I had moved on to my second life. I just wanted to say, "Mom, don't cry." Later, Mom spent $10,000 to buy an urn for that cockroach. In my second life, I became a turtle and crawled toward her. This time, there was a heart-shaped mark on my shell, exactly like the wound I got in the fire. Mom recognized it immediately. She softly asked, "If you are my daughter, tuck your head inside." I did so instantly. Tears began to flow from her eyes. She bought me from the owner and brought me home, but I knew the third birth would happen soon. This time, I became a cat. I rushed upstairs to get to Mom, but then my aunt's family arrived again to harass her. I pounced on my uncle. Even this time, Mom recognized me at a glance and hugged me joyfully. But to protect me, she locked me in the kitchen and went to face them alone. Because of this, her asthma flared up. I scratched desperately at the door to save her, but I couldn't do anything. Then, my eyes fell on the red thread tied around my wrist. I remembered that if I broke it, I could become human for a short while, but the price would be that I could never be reborn again. For my mother's sake, I didn't care. Just as I was about to break the thread, the man I had saved from the fire arrived. He had come to return the favor. I finally felt at peace and lost consciousness. When I woke up again, I had become a mouse, and Mom was looking for me with a poster of my missing cat.